Hey there, hi there, ho there, Parkinsons therapy of the day. Today we're going to do, or try to do, rendition of Alice's Restaurant by Mr. Arlo Guthrie, legend, folk hero, and major inspiration in my life ever since I was in junior high. And put it out there, people to share. Feel free, because for Parkinson's awareness, I don't do much, and if it awares one person about Parkinson's, then we've done our job. So, been trying to do this song now for 2 weeks, maybe going on 3. It's been kind of rough. It's halfway, quarter way, 3/4 of the way, my muscles just cramp up and I stop playing. It's just like can't move my fingers, and the arm, particularly this arm, just pain. So today what I did was I rubbed in analgesic pain reliever called Voltaren, a prescription medicine. Let that soak in good and well, and then I put rubbed in icy hot, and let's just try something different to see if I can get through this song. And spent 20 minutes trying to wash all the grease off my hands so I could play the guitar. Here we go. Alice's Restaurant, anti-elastic movement. Dopamine should be in effect, and hopefully this time we'll get through it. Here we go. Take 934,312, it seems, at least. We'll try it again. Here we go. It all happened 2 Thanksgivings ago. That was 2 years ago on Thanksgiving. Me and my friends went down to the restaurant to visit Alice. Now, Alice doesn't own the restaurant. She just works there with her and her husband and Fetchy the dog, who live in the church up the road. Being as they lived up there in church up in the bell tower, had all them empty pews downstairs where the people used to do the praying, they figured didn't have to take out the garbage for a long time. About 2 years on Thanksgiving, on this particular Thanksgiving, me and my friends thought it'd be a right neighborly thing to do. Take all that garbage, load in the back of a red VW micro bus, and head on down to the city dump. And that's what we did with rakes and pitchforks and implements of destruction. Took all the garbage, loaded in the back of the red VW microbus, and headed on down to the city dump. Now, friends, we got to the dump. There was a sign across the dump that said closed for Thanksgiving. Now, who ever heard of a dump being closed on Thanksgiving? Not us. And with a tear in our eye and a song in our heart, we drove off into the sunset looking for somewhere to put our garbage. We didn't find one till we came to the side road, and off to the side of the side road was a 15-foot cliff. At the bottom of the cliff was a half ton of garbage. Now, friends, we figured one big pile of garbage is better than 2 little piles of garbage, and instead of bringing that one up the cliff to us, we decided to throw ours down to it. And that's what we did with rakes and pitchforks and implements of destruction. Took all the garbage out of the back of the red VW micro bus, threw it over the cliff, went back to the church, had a Thanksgiving dinner that could not be beat, and didn't get up to the next morning. We got a phone call from Officer Obie. Obie said, "Kid, we found your name on a piece of paper underneath a half ton of garbage." And I said, "Obie, I cannot tell a lie. I put that piece of paper underneath all that garbage." Well, after about 2 hours on the telephone, Obie came to the truthful realization we had put the garbage there and we had to go pick it up. But first we had to stop by the police officer station. Now, friends, I figured there's 1 of 2 things Obie could do to us at the police officer station. Give us a handshake and a medal for being so brave and honest on the telephone, which we really didn't expect nor deserve. Or he could make us pick up our garbage. We got there was a third possibility none of us had even counted on. We were immediately arrested. Handcuffed. I said, "Obie, how am I going to pick up my garbage with these handcuffs on?" He said, "Shut up, kid. We're going to put you in the cell. Before we put you in the cell, I want your wallet. I want your belt." He said, "Obie, I can understand and you want my wallet, so I won't have any money to spend on your jail cell, but what do you want my belt for?" He said, "Kid, we don't want no hangings around here." I said, "Obie, you think I'm going to hang myself for littering?" He said he didn't know, and he was just making sure. And friends, he was so kind as to take out the toilet seat so I couldn't bang my head on the toilet seat, fall on the commode and drown. And he was so kind as to take out the toilet paper so I couldn't bend open the bars, roll out the toilet paper, and slide to my getaway. Well, I want to tell you about a town called Stockbridge, Massachusetts. And Stockbridge, Massachusetts has a grand total of 1 police car and 2 police officers. We got to the quote, unquote, scene of the crime. There was a grand total of 5 police cars and 10 police officers, being it was the biggest crime in the last 50 years, and everybody wanted to be in the newspaper article about it. I mean, they had all kinds of ancient apparatus, detective gear hanging around. They were taking footprints, photo prints, dog sniffing prints. While they even had a helicopter flying around taking 27 8x10 photoglossy pictures with circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one to be used as evidence against us in a court of law. You remember Alice, don't you? This is a song about Alice. Well, Alice came down and with a few nasty words to Obie on the side, bailed us all out. We went back to the church, had another Thanksgiving dinner that could not be beat, and didn't get up to the next morning. We got to go to court. We got to court, well, I was there and Obie was there. Well, the whole damn town was there, being it was such a big crime. And in walks the bailiff. The bailiff said, all rise for the honorable judge. And I rose and Obie rose, and the courtroom rose, and in walks the judge behind a seeing-eye dog. Obie looks at the judge and he looks down at the seeing-eye dog. He looks back at the judge and looks back down at the seeing-eye dog. He looks at his 27 8x10 photoglossy pictures with the circles and arrows and the paragraph on the back of each one, and he looks back at the seeing-eye dog. He sits down and commenced a crime, realized a typical case of blind justice in the American court, and there's nothing he could do about it. The judge wasn't going to look at his 27 8x10 photoglossy pictures with the circles and arrows and the paragraph on the back of each one. I got fined $50 and had to pick up my garbage, but I didn't come here to talk about that. I came here to talk about the draft. You know, back in the summer of 1967, I got a notice in the mail to report to my local indoctrination station on Whitehall Street in New York City, and I wanted to look like the all-American kid from New York City. I wanted to feel like the all-American kid from New York City. I was up all night snorting coke, smoking dope, and drinking coffee so I would look and feel my best when I went in for my physical examination. And I walked in, and I walked right up to the sergeant, and I said, as he looked away, and he said, kid, I want you to go up and see the psychiatrist in room 206. Well, I walked up to the psychiatrist's office, room 206. I walked in and I said, Doc, I want to kill. I want to see heap dead, burnt babies with veins in my teeth jumping up and down yelling kill. And I was jumping up and down yelling kill, and he was jumping up and down yelling kill. Everybody tried just one time. Kill, kill. And then walks the sergeant. The sergeant walked up to me, put a medal on my shoulder, and he said, boy, you're our man. Go downstairs for injections, inspection, detections, and selections. And I was there 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I was up to the last man. The very last man you have to see before you can join the army and burn villages. He said, kid, I only got a few simple questions for you. Have you ever been arrested? Well, I proceeded to tell him about the time me and my friends took all the garbage, loaded in the back with a red VW Macro bus, head on down to the city dump. I told him about the phone call on Obie at the jail cell. He said, kid, did you ever go to court? Well, I proceeded to tell him about the seeing-eye dog and the judge and the 27 8x10 photoglossy pictures and the circles and arrows and the paragraph on the back of each one. He said, kid, I want you to go over there and sit on the Group W bench. I want to tell you about the Group W bench. Over across the room was a great big bench with a W over it. And there's all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly-looking people there. You see, the Group W bench is where they put you when they think you might not be moral enough to join the army and burn villages. There was all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly people. There was mother rapers, child molesters, and backstabbers, and father rapers. Yes, there was father rapers right there on the bench, and I had to sit by the biggest, most meanest, most nastiest, ugliest father raper of them all, and he turned to me and he said, kid, what'd you get? I said, I didn't get nothing. I had to pay $50 and pick up my garbage for littering, and they all moved away from me on the bench. And so we started telling them I was causing a mutual disturbance with public officials, and they came back. We were talking about all kinds of groovy things, you know, father raping, whatnot. And in walks the sergeant. The sergeant walks up, and he gives each one of us a piece of paper and a pencil. And he said, "This piece of paper got 44 words, 45 sentences, 96 pages. I want everything about the crime, every risk stops, the crime, the approach of crime, and everything going on for 45 fucking minutes." Nobody understood a word he said, but we had a great time filling out his form and drawing on the bench, smoking cigarettes. And I was filling out the form, and I came to the back of the form, which is on the other side of the form. And away from everything else on the back of the form was a box. And in the box were the following words, quotated. Said, "Kid, you rehabilitated yourself for your said crime." Well, I walked up to the sergeant. I walked right up to the sergeant and I said, "You know, I'm sitting here on the bench. I'm sitting on the Group W bench next to father rapers, and you want to know if I rehabilitated myself for littering so I can go to Vietnam and burn villages." He said, "Kid, we don't like your kind around here. We're going to send your fingerprints off to Washington, and friends, believe me, somewhere in Washington, deep in the archives, is a black and white manila photo with my fingerprints in it." And you're probably wondering why I'm telling you this. You're probably wondering why I'm taking all this time and chords on the guitar just to relate a relatively simple story. Well, friends, it's just in case, you know, you might be in a similar situation, or you might know somebody in a similar situation. All you got to do, friends, all you got to do is walk into the psychiatrist's office, wherever you're at, sing a bar of Alice's Resturant, and walk out. They'll think you're crazy, and they won't take you into the army. Well, you imagine two people a day walking in, singing 2 bars of Alice's Resturant, and walking out. Why, they think you're both gays. They wouldn't take either one of you into the army. But could you imagine 3 people a day singing 3 bars of Alice's Resturant and walking out? Why, they'd think it was a movement. And that's what it is, friends. It's the Alice's Resturant anti-massacre movement. And all you got to do, join, is sing next time it comes around on the guitar. We're waiting for it to come around on the guitar is what we're doing. It comes pretty quick, so don't miss it. You missed it. We'll wait for it to come around again. See, you can get anything you want at Alice's Resturant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Resturant. I said, walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad tracks. You can get anything you want at Alice's Resturant. Friends, and I use that term lightly, that was horrible. The reason it was horrible is I was singing it all alone. You know, I got this ding webcam thing, and I can spy and see all of you sitting in your living rooms watching me here on YouTube playing this stupid song. And here we go. Next time we're gonna sing it. We're gonna sing it with feeling. I mean, if you want to end the war against terrorism, against ISIS and all the Al-Qaedas, you're gonna want to sing this song and sing it with feeling and in harmony. I mean, I've been singing this song for 20 minutes now. I could sing it another 20 minutes. I ain't proud nor tired. So next time it comes around on the guitar, we're going to sing it, and sing it with feeling and in harmony. You can get anything you want at Alice's Resturant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Resturant. I said, walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad tracks. You can get anything you want at Alice's Resturant. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.